Hey, hey, we're back again.
We found our way through all this. We're going to be challenging more of DJ Cyberhead's crew.
Yep.
And we
So we're
also
going up
got
against
our
the.
little angel friend. We also got our angel friend some new outfit.
Yep, and
And I
we're no
like it.
longer getting chased by snipers and cops. Though there is actually
No,
a
no.
achievement I noticed in this game for getting a 6-star rating, so I might try to do that before we end this series.
That doesn't surprise me.
That
That does
sounds
not
like it'd be a
surprise me.
lot of fun. So yeah, let's go for it.
I imagine I imagine that could get very chaotic very quickly.
Yeah, that sounds like it'll be great.
Regarding how regarding just how chaotic it got. I think at 4-star was where we last left it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. I've done that
Okay.
before.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally did it earlier. There's your. Hey. I have to wonder, like, if they would implement, like, hey, do a combination line to get to this area and tag it. Wait,
Dang it.
that's already
Got right
tagged.
behind it.
Like,
Yeah.
I just think that'd be really funny to have it be like a preemptively you did it situation.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's something that I like in a lot of games sometimes when it comes to side quests and objectives, where if you do preemptively do it, sometimes the games will have some kind of line that's like, oh, here's your objective that you've got to do in order to, you know, get the
Wait!
key out of my locked house, please. And you're like, oh, this key? What?
Oh my lord. Okay, okay. So, like, you just saw, I went over there and I tagged it again, right?
Yes.
Watch her do it. So, when she comes off of here, she goes for a left slide off of the cell body onto that ramp, goes into her ollie, hops, and then does an ollie. Well, I did the tag,
Oh.
and I skipped that sign grind because sometimes when I do the sign grind, it throws me to the right. So I landed straight on the line for the
Oh.
grind. Didn't actually count. I have to perfectly mirror the combo. That is actually
Oh.
pretty freaking funny because, like, I have my own way of doing it. And it's like, nah, man, you gotta
Yeah,
actually
you skipped a
do
step.
it her way. No, damn it. I was like, I'm going to come off of that
As
a
we
little too
said.
sharp. Well, no, that actually did throw me in the right direction, but I was just a little sharp. I was like, I need to redirect, and that's on me.
Well, at least you figured it out there.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, and you didn't even need to do the tag.
No, you don't even need to do the tag. Oh, I like
Right,
that
what is
tag,
that?
though. New tag.
Oh.
Got a graffiti soul.
Couldn't even. Kind of looks like the single wheel enemy from the Kirby series.
Don't have 180 rep. Okay, let's see where my rep's at. I know I've got most of the tags in the area. Psh, of course.
Yep, perfect timing.
I gotta admit, I love
that's
the
a cool
design of this
statue.
place. Yeah, I like this place.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, time to settle this. So I already got the required rep. Yeah, I got 230. So I've got enough to get
Yeah,
out
you're
of the area.
good. Yeah. There you go.
Almost.
Oh, yeah, overshot.
Yeah, overshot.
Yeah,
a little.
I'm reminded of. I couldn't tell if that was like a rose or a car wheel or something, but it looks like it's a car wheel with a stem of something. God, I love the
So
designs
close.
of all of the graffiti in this game. It's awesome.
You know, I wish that inline, like extreme inline, didn't die. Because there were honestly some pretty cool tricksters back in the day. Like, notice,
Inline?
yeah, there was extreme inline, and it was like super big in the early 2000s. The original X Games actually had it, but as a category, it just died off. Record head. So it's a cyberhead with a
Oh.
record in it. I like that. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool
I
design.
see. That's really cool.
How do I do it actually? Let's see. So middle, kind of Z it. All right, I like it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what inline. What I don't know what I don't have any idea what you mean by inline. I said that
So okay, like you see these
program.
skates, how there's just two wheels on them.
Yes.
Okay, inline skates are skates where all the wheels are in the middle. You would usually take wheels out of the middle of
Oh.
them because then you would have a piece of steel there and you could grind rails with your skates. So that's where this
Oh.
style comes from, is aggressive inline. You would chuck the wheels, do some customizations to the actual line of the skate so you could like hop on curbs, hop on all kinds of things and freestyle and grind all over town. And the idea was like you were hitting ramps and stuff and just doing tricks, making super long jumps and then sliding out of them on your inline skates.
Okay.
Like
I did
obviously
not. I did not know that. I'm not.
skateboarding,
I'm not a skater, guys.
skateboarding obviously won the day, and like I definitely was part of that as a kid. But like looking back now, I was like, man, there was something to it, and I wish like more people actually gave the inliners a bit more time.
Well, I don't really have much knowledge regarding skating outside of what I played in one of the Tony Hawk games. I think was it Pro Skater 2 that had the shithead that had you like that stole your reputation or something,
Oh,
or
that's
took all the credit. I don't.
It's not Project 8. It was Tony Hawk, not Underground. But it wasn't one of the numbered ones. It's when he started doing like story-based games, kind of based on GTA. Project
Yeah,
8 was the one I
remember
played the
you.
most of as a kid, where he was throwing
Yeah, I remember.
a giant competition, and you had to be one of the 8 best skaters.
Yeah, my one was the one that everybody knows. Likely is the guy that had the shithead. That's like, hey, let's have you do a trick and on top over a helicopter between two building tops. And I was like, okay. I don't remember a whole lot else besides that. And that's it. That's literally the most of my skating knowledge. Played that on the PS2 a bit, but I was too enamored by... Oh, God, what was I playing? I think I was too enamored with Kingdom Hearts 2. Or... Oh, what else? I think I also had Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, but I'm not entirely sure. No, I did. I did have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I did. I think I also had Jack 1 and 2. No, Jack 2 definitely. I think that was my first PS2 game. Just wish I remembered when I first played that. What was your first console?
The PlayStation 1, actually.
Okay.
I was playing PC games at my grandparents' when I was a youngin', and then my mom, for like my 7th birthday, got me the PS1.
Okay.
And then like a year later, I got a PS2. Oh,
My
man,
first
I messed
one.
that up. I'm gonna restart
My first
this thing.
console was.
I can't restart.
No. My first console, I think, was a Game Boy Color, which I mean, would you kind of handheld as a console in that sense?
I mean, it's a portable console, yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, yeah, first console was a Game Boy Color, and I had an Atomic Purple one because
Nice.
I think that was the cool one. Honestly, Atomic like see-through casings on consoles should make a return.
Hey, that's why I did my Switch the way
Those
I
were
did.
always cool.
With
Yeah.
the neon blue. Oh yeah.
Those
I'm
were
gonna use
always a
this
cool
one.
look.
Oh yeah.
It was an Atomic Purple, and I had a Pokemon block puzzle game. If anybody could point out the name of the Pokemon block puzzle game in the comments, I would love that, please, because I I don't remember it for the life of me. And that's where I discovered Cyndaquil and Totodile and how they're my new favorite little fellas. And then after that, I think it was a place. No. Yeah, it was after that. It was a N64 for a little while, but I didn't really recognize it. And then it was Then it was GameCube and PS2, which those were where I really started with it. Started with gaming and consoles and all that.
Yeah, I'd say my biggest one was GameCube, PS2 as well. But I had the PS1. Like, the PS2 had already come out by then, and then my mom was like, yo, he really likes these things, so... Next year after that, they got me the PS2, and it was backwards compatible because I had a thick one, so I just kept playing Croc and all that on the PS2.
Yeah.
Like, that was the big selling point.
God, I really wish... It sucks that backwards compatibility has just become such kind of a dead thing now regarding how different consoles are.
Well, I mean, how else are they going to sell you the old games when they decide to do an HD remake? Can't play the original. You're going to buy the remake, right? Yep. Or are you a dirty emulator?
Yeah, or are you a dirty sales setter? Or are you going to be somebody that shells out like $200 to $300 for a copy of a game that, will eventually degrade? Because guess what? Physical media, though having a lot of benefits regarding how it's like, oh, you don't have to download a day one patch or something. It's still the discs don't last forever.
No,
and neither do cartridges.
But that's why I do my best to maintain all of my physical media.
Yep, same. What's the most expensive physical game you've got?
Oh, dude, I've probably something I have on my Sega Saturn.
That makes sense.
You got to remember, when I was
in
middle school, I started actually really video game collecting. I have one of every console before about the 6th generation. And I've got games for everything.
Damn. Yeah, I only have one PS2 game, and that's Dragon Quest VIII. I've got one GameCube game, and that's...
Yeah, that's... Dude, I'm thinking to my PS2 collection right now, and although I don't have like some really rare stuff for the most part, I do have like the original Sega PS2 Shinobi. I've got
holy shit.
I've got some pretty cool titles in my collection. Probably at least 60 titles for the PS2. About 20 to 30 titles, including Legacy of Kain, Defiance on the original Xbox, as well as some like the original. I do have Panzer Dragoon Orta. Yeah, so I've got a pretty nice collection, at least. I don't know what the most valuable one is off the top of my head, but like I got Mega Man 64 instead of
Jesus, you've...
Yeah, like when I played...
Instead of Mega Man Legends? Wow.
Yeah, I never got it on the PS1, but when I bought my Nintendo 64 in middle school, it was a mom and pop game shop, and I actually found Mega Man 64 for like $5 without the box. And that's the first way I actually played it. And I will say I actually, now having played both versions, do prefer the N64 version to the PS1 version.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I was really let down when the 3DS Mega Man Legends 3 didn't come out back in the day. I was like, oh my god, you're like 80% of the way done. It's back on Nintendo. Like, oh my god, please get him off the moon.
Yeah. My only exposure to Mega Man Legends is through a lot of video essays, but also the fact that I played, I think for a few minutes, Mega Man Legends 1 on the N64 when I was very young at a cousin's place.
Yeah.
But that's mostly it.
Heck, I don't even know how much Mega Man X Command Mission goes for now, but I've got that, and that was honestly one of my first JRPGs.
I remember that one. I remember actually playing that one for a while, but I didn't really understand.
That game was pretty tough.
All right, how much? What do you cost, Mega Man X Command Mission? Yeah, that sounds about right. About $100. But you could get it used for around 50.
Okay, so yeah, I could make my money back on that one.
It's the very good condition ones that run the gambit of $100 to $150. So yeah. As you read, a lot of my retro collecting is kind of downplayed. It's, if anything, it's more on the Game Boy Advance side of things and the DS side of things, because I played a lot of handheld stuff growing up, and with that in mind, none of my DS cartridges cost as much as some of the console stuff that I've bought over the years. And
really?
Some of these console entries I got them like, around that time where retro gaming collecting was not as bad.
Yeah.
Like, I have all of the No More Heroes games physically, and No More Heroes 1 and 2 are not as expensive right now to get physically as other games that are on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, like, I even own them on Switch too, but
Yeah.
I still own the Wii copies because No More Heroes is one of my beating heart games. I have the logo tattooed on my back for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you get copies of it that are renewed for like about $30 or so. It's not a hard game to get a hand on. So it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But I will tell you one that I'm very glad I got the price on that made sense to me. Jordan, you're a Fire Emblem person to an extent now, right?
Well, yeah, I've played a game or two. I got appreciation for the series, but I don't know much about it.
So, one of the more famous entries that features the favorite character of Ike is
Oh yeah, you got
Fire
the
Emblem Path
Wii
of
one?
Radiance on
or
the GameCube.
is that the GameCube? Okay.
No. Yeah, he started on the GameCube one, which is Path of Radiance.
Okay.
I got mine at a convention for around 180, which is already relatively steep.
Yeah.
You could get easily 2 or 3 modern games with that price alone. The price of getting a good quality copy of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance right now is around $350.
Ooh-wee. Yeah.
Pretty much double the price. I also have Radiant Dawn, which is for some reason the less expensive of the two, and that can go for around $230. My copy cost around $60 when I first got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, retro gaming is just a forever market that's just going to keep going higher and higher, and depressingly so. I mean, shit, my first Fire Emblem game, Sacred Stones, I remember getting my copy for around $30-$40. It goes for about $140 now, especially in box.
Mm-hmm.
So, retro game collections, people, they can kick you right in the dick.
Yep. Thankfully, most of the Atari games are in shitty condition anyway, so no one really cares.
Yeah, that's true. But there's a novelty to physical collections, but sometimes I really do kind of want more of a digital version of things. Hence why setting sail has kind of become a way of preserving a lot of stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I have the equipment to go ahead and do game rips the right way and all that because, yeah, I do want to legally be able to back up my games, but even that is now considered a gray area, and Nintendo is trying to fight back on even that. Like, it's legal to make
even
the
PlayStation
emulator,
is.
but well, here's the thing: PlayStation lost against Bleem in the '90s. Like, they lost that fight long ago.
Right, but I remember seeing a recent post about PlayStation having this kind of policy thing where they're like, "Hey, we encourage you to sell your games out to people or pass them around." Something to that extent. And I'm like, "What the fuck, man?"
Bullshit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. There we go. We beat them. Took us 4 tries.
4 tries, but you doubled their score.
This is true. I did 1,000,000. Oh yeah, I can pop and lock now.
Yeah, let's see. I can't really name off all of the games that I've acquired that were relatively pricey. Although there are some DS games that I do want to get that are pretty high steeped in price. I think one of them is actually a Dragon Quest game. Let me look it up real fast. So you, for instance, Jordan, you mostly have played Dragon Quest 8, right?
Yeah, it's the only one I've actually played, other than the demo for 11.
So Dragon Quest 4 is considered a nice entry in the series. That's pretty good, and it even actually ties into the most recent Dragon Quest Monsters game, The Dark Prince, which is really cool. It's actually the villain origin story of that game.
I like that. Okay.
So that's really neat. A non-original box copy of Dragon Quest IV costs $270 or so. That's and then there's like the fact that modern game prices are now rising 70. Just, I don't know. It's depressing, man.
I mean, I get it though. I'm in my 20s, and games cost $60 when I was a kid. Inflation since I was a kid has gone way, way up, and so have production costs. Although I like $60 being the standard, I can definitely see the argument for now, at least on a AAA title, raising it to 70. Like, if you were giving me the same amount of content, right? That's my thing.
That's the thing, though. It depends on the amount of content in the game.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm trying to say, is like, I can see the argument, right?
But the issue is like what kind of content additions are being done in there? Like how much is that $70 going to get you?
Here's my thing. Like, you sell me this game right now, made by a AAA, right? Like, I'm getting the full studio experience version of Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Okay? Even maybe the same graphical style. You add like 2 more boroughs in. You already got like a 2-3 hour long soundtrack, maybe up it another hour. I'd pay $70 for this game. We've put over 8-9 parts into this, man. You get fully fleshed out. Don't give me DLC characters. Include all the DLC characters you already released in the base game. Add a few more characters maybe defined, a few inner city challenges, because I just looked at the whole achievement list before we started, Dan. It's like a 20 achievement list. Add like 5 hidden achievements right now, because you got the 5 boroughs, right? Add maybe another 10 challenge-based achievements for each area. Like, you know, some hidden nook or cranny where you got to do a certain combo to unlock it. Because I saw one where it's like, hey, if you do this in this part of the city and chase off all the pigeons, you get an achievement, right? So if you do something like that, to where you're adding some extra replay value without actually having to do too much more to the base model of the game, but you're adding more incentives for me to actually put a little bit more time in and showing me some things I can do creatively with the engine, I'd say this is a game that's worth a full AAA price tag. It's just got a retro style. And
I guess that's kind of the argument that I get. Well, part of it is kind of the argument, like I don't know. I'm of a mind that it depends. Like, the amount that you get out of a game can really affect your wanting to spend a whole lot of money on it. Yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason why, like, lately I've been kind of waiting on wanting to get a lot of games that I've been interested in, because for one, this year has been an absolute fucking insane blowout in the amount of games that have come out that look really good. Like, we featured a lot of games that have come out recently on Demonstration, where we're like, oh god, how many good looking games are going to come out this year and into the start of next year, you know?
Exactly. And that's my thing, man. Like, whether you're a solo indie guy or a AAA, like, if you're putting your heart and soul into it, I don't care if the graphics are old school. I don't care if they're like AAA Spider-Man 2 level graphics, right? If I can tell like some real love and care went into the game, then it's worth whatever it's actually worth to you. And you know what? Everybody's got to eat. Developers too, right? So
Right. It's just
I
a shame that a lot of
what
those
it's
devs tend to get
worth.
laid off, but
But that's what I'm getting at, right? I want to pay what it's worth, not just stick an arbitrary number at the end. So if the cost is going up, but you're giving me like back in the day levels of content, like how many hours when we were kids did we sink probably into Battlefront 2, the original Battlefront 2? You know?
I wouldn't know. I've never been into Star Wars, but I know I spent
Okay.
a lot of time trying to raise chows in Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, so here's my thing. Like, Sonic Adventure 2, I just watched a guy 100% the game for the first time in like 27 years. He's like, yo, this is a game I wanted to do to unlock Green Hill since I was a kid, right? With speedrun and strats.
Yeah, I know
it
the
took
video
that-
you're talking about.
Yeah, it took that guy over like 20 hours total to do that. Okay, and that's in a game from like 2001. So, to me, it's like, okay, if you can give me a game that's fun to replay, has a great soundtrack, has multiple variants of the same levels, giving me a goal, unlocking Green Hill at the end of it if I 100% the game, even if it's not fun to do, right? But you put it there. You gave me the option. You gave me that extra content. In 2001, and that was a $60 game. If you do that for 30, 40 hours now with even better graphics, and it's still a fun game to play like Sonic Frontiers was, then it was definitely worth the $60. I'd say that game was worth even $80 if you treat your staff right and you're actually paying those developers what they need to feed their families and, you know, have a good life and make games that we all love. That's when I see the right for that argument. But when you're going to be an EA piece of shit, right? And you're going to go ahead and charge me like 60, 70 bucks out the gate for a game that's only got maybe 20, 30 hours worth of content, looks like maybe a polished Xbox 360 game, and then you're going to try and upsell me on freaking season passes and all this other stuff in DLC where it's like, yo, I want another $5, yo, I want another $10, yo, I want another $20 from you for months and months and months, trying to keep me coming back with new content when the base game was kind of shit. I don't want to support that. Like, no, that's just greed.
hence why
You're
I find
not
it
making a good game.
Hence why I find it incredibly based. Hence why I find it incredibly based that that Santa Monica Studios, the people that make the God of War games, had released free DLC for the God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, and I hear it was
recently.
literally, essentially, a expansion. Like,
Yeah.
it was like
So-
getting a free expansion to a great game already. And there's a guy I work with. He absolutely loves the new God of War games. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad they've made really good games with great orchestral soundtracks that this dude's listening to while we're imaging computers and shit. Like, from what I can tell, Santa Monica, they're doing God's work. They are doing what we want of, you know, the gaming industry.
Not to mention giving one of the more myth-accurate versions of Thor that most pop culture don't even tend to bother making.
Fair enough. But, I mean, that's, again, like the American superhero ideal versus, like, mythology.
Actual
are-
myth.
Yeah,
yeah.
They are two different things.
Right. But in any case, yeah, I'm of the mind of this. If the, like, it depends on the level of enjoyment and stuff that you get out of it can kind of determine the price of a
almost.
lot of things. I,
Okay,
like, for
that was
instance,
funny.
I tend to
Wasn't a
kind of
death
correlate an interesting idea where, oh, I paid $20 for an indie game that I spent 80 hours in or plus completing through versus this $60 game that has like a 4-hour long campaign and spend a lot of time in, but
Yeah.
you know, who would do that?
Well, my thing is
It
this,
really
like,
depends on people
To a lot
have
of
their different
people-
perceptions of value sometimes.
Amen to that.
That's
But
just it.
That's where I'm saying, like, you know what? You can sell me Stardew Valley again, even though I don't like that game, for $30 today, because at least all the content and upkeep is actually there.
Right.
Like,
And maybe I'll end up selling you on Haunted Chocolatiers if that's the next game made by the same dev.
yeah, you know, I'm definitely willing to try it.
So yeah, I guess that's
Ah,
that
man, I
TED
am
talk,
just
I suppose, on the
missing that.
perception of
Yeah,
value
like, I
regarding.
wasn't expecting us to go into a rant today, but hey. Here we
Well,
go.
it's a rant that's often brought up sometimes whenever you see games like I remember Resident Evil 2 remake was being criticized by people on Twitter. Granted, Twitter's not exactly the best site you ought to go to when it comes to seeing game criticisms or discussions, because Twitter's Twitter, and even back before Muskrat owned it, Twitter was Twitter, and people
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, I can't believe this game that's got a campaign around like 12 hours is worth like $60." And it's like, okay, tell me how much your fucking Call of Duty campaigns are then.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
I
don't
remember.
know why I didn't think of this.
Nice.
Yeah, I should have just thought, hey, I got a booster on my back. Why don't I just thrust my way over there?
Yeah. So we're still in the memory?
Yeah, this is the whole memory shebang. We'll probably wrap after the memory on this episode.
Yeah. Oh. He was there?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so Foe ruined it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is now part of the cops, so that makes sense. He's an asshole.
True. Well, yeah, yeah, we're gonna see what happens, though.
I think I already see what's about to happen.
Okay, Sephiroth 7923.
Mm-hmm.
You say you work best solo, but you still need somebody to, steady
the
your
ladder.
ladders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you saw what was under there.
So Foe, I guess, was just really jealous of Felix?
I don't know if it's jealousy just yet, but I see where this is going.
Oh. Oh, God.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, definitely darker than fucking... So I guess this would explain why DJ Cyber wanted to... had killed Foe the way he did.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I like that. So yeah, we're
So
going after
Foe's
Foe.
the final boss.
Well, yeah, because
Well, it
he's
makes
tied up
sense.
to the
He took
police
over the
machine.
entire
And,
operation.
yeah, like he's the big bad. We already know that.
Yeah. Foe taking over the cop operation. The copperation.
Yeah, he's cooperating with him.
Okay.
Oh,
So now we've beaten all the... Oh, yeah, God, I still...
I
Cool
like
outfits,
that.
just the blue boots, man.
You know, I don't mind it now that I see their blue jetpacks.
I don't know. The blue jetpacks I'm okay with, but...
I think it's more like they got
Oh, that
cyber
thing looks
legs.
fucking cool.
It's a gorilla.
That is a cool looking mech.
It really is. That is just a gorilla tank.
Yeah.
Honestly, I need to build one of those and paint it. That needs to be in one of my tabletop games.
Yeah, that like it'd be a Warhammer thing.
Honestly, I can imagine some Tau in that. Like, good luck.
Oh, you want to know? You know, like if we want to talk about companies that have like some real shit in terms of reselling stuff. Oh God, like Games Workshop with fucking Warhammer stuff is easily the worst, according to what I've heard.
I mean, I'm a big Warhammer player, you know that, and I'm not going back all their business decisions, etc. But I'll say this: at least they ain't Wizards of the Coast.
I don't know. They think they're both equally pretty shit.
Oh no, they're both equally shit. But I don't know. I feel like Wizards definitely doing more anti fan and consumer shit, where it's like Warhammer. The problem with Warhammer is like they're just way too protective of their IP. So like even kit bashing now is really frowned upon by GW. Where it's like, back in the day, if your model was like 80% kit bashed, it didn't really matter so long as you were using like model parts or you were sculpting things that like really fit the idea of the army you were playing. And it was like, yeah, the base sizes are the same, cool, proxy stuff in, have fun with the world. Now it's like, hey, you can't play in our stores unless your stuff is like 90% legit. Like if we notice your shoulder pad on your Space Wolf is 3D printed and you use 2 3D printed shoulder pads to make them like a part of a certain Wolfen chapter, like, yo, that's going too far. Get the fuck out of my store. It's like, okay, come on guys. I didn't want to buy a $20 upgrade sprue for 5 Marines, so I went ahead and printed some stuff out for 30 cents. Come on, man. That's their problem.
Yeah, that feels. I don't know. That feels fucking. That is kind of funny to me. Like I picture like a forensics, a tabletop store or a games store where they have people with like latex gloves on with small magnifying glasses and on them, and they're just examining it like they would examine the authenticness of a piece of jewelry. They'll just like zoom in on it, look at it at every angle, like maybe take some cotton swabs and test the materials. And it's like I just picture that, but for Warhammer figures, and that brings that'd be a funny comedy skit actually.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Like I love the latest edition. Leviathan was a cool box. I wanted to get into Tyranids for a long time. Here's the thing: the Tyranid rule set, essentially you got to run like 3 Ripper Swarms to actually have a good Ripper Swarm on the table. They only gave you 2 in the box, and the only other way is to buy another $50 box of Hormagaunts that'll come with 1 Ripper Swarm. So I just bought a $300 starter kit, and I'm going to pay $50 to get 1 Ripper Swarm to complete that thing and add another set of 10 Hormagaunts to my army when I may want to have a melee army. So since y'all haven't made the actual melee version of that, I'd have to wait 3 or 4 months for you to release it. Screw that. And just so I could play in their shops, I've magnetized, and I have the models right here. I bought a set of Hive Guard. The Hive Guard kit costs $80 for 3 models. They're not even that big, and again, if you glued all your stuff in, you can only play what you see. So if I built them a certain way as Hive Guard or what's the alternative? Because I didn't build them as Hive Guard. I built them as Tyrant Guards. I'm looking at the back of the box. So did them as Tyrant Guard because I want something that can, rip through a tank with its claws, not something that can just shoot from far out on the field. It's like, okay, you built it as a Tyrant Guard, so unless you can equip a gun to it or use like some alternative arms, you cannot play it as a Hive Guard now. Which it's like, okay, so you want me to spend another $80 to build another 3 models that have the shooting version? Nah, I'm going to magnetize the arms and use the armored carapace because it looks better. I don't like the unarmored shooting version. And now, guess what? it's armored and it can shoot a gun. So if I need to shoot someone, I have a model that can shoot someone this game. If I want to run up to a tank and use giant crab claws to rip open its hull, I can do that this game because I'm not spending $160 in your ecosystem.
You know what kind of fun you could get instead of spending $160 on a company's ego? You could get all of the Yakuza series.
Or, you know what? You could buy a 3D printer and just play with your friends.
Yeah. That's why I'm very glad I'm not into war. I mean, I don't know. I know jack and shit about the lore. I know jack and shit about any major players. I only know the meme of blood for the blood god, and I also just hear Warhammer. You may as well take out a second mortgage to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, hearing what you say, I'm glad I am not into it. So yeah, Foe's obviously pissed, being like, "Hey, I want my body back," and then everybody's like, "You killed Felix." That's true.
Yeah, true.
Imagine government mandated graffiti. It'd be like the PBS of graffiti. Oh god. Oh, PBS of graffiti.
PBG.
Oh. Yeah. Public broadcasting graffiti. It'd be Arthur with a book saying reading is cool or something. Or no, it'd be the Arthur's closed fist meme. Oh my god.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Shoot at me.
There you go.
There we go. Almost.
Okay, I see what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I mean, at least your health regens, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. You try and get rid of the helpers too, or just not bother with them?
I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, they seem to be. They don't seem to be super troublesome at this time. Nice. And there you go.
And I kicked a cop at the same time. Okay, that might actually have been one of the easier boss fights.
That was you blew through that one. You really just crushed that instantly.
Yeah, I was like, he's got rails on his arm. Can I just grind those? Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact, like, maybe if there was air support that he would have gotten, that would have been a harder fight. But that was like,
yeah, and that was a 5-star.
easy.
Like what?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it ain't over yet.
Or not.
Oh, thank God. Okay, that's cool looking.
And now I'm being reminded of Sonic's boss in Sonic Adventure 1. No?
Chaos?
No.
I mean, yeah, this is more of a centipede looking thing.
I guess a more apt comparison, or a more apt reference, would be Aldrich, the God Eater, or something in
Yeah.
Oh. Well then. Oh, the pedestrians below are about to get a really shocking thing.
Yeah. I mean, why would you even need a
Yeah,
human
this
body
definitely
anymore?
like. Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry.
I
if
definitely.
I could to do a Warhammer meme here, I believe in the cult mechanicus, and the flesh is weak.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, she's probably going to help us now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't like him taking over the other cops.
No. Hey, it's Felix's body.
Yeah, she was like, nah, I got that for you.
Yeah.
His corruption spread through the police force, yeah.
Yeah.
She's got the same goal we do. Yeah, we better get some diplomatic.
Yeah, dude, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, hey, we're gonna help you take care of this this problem you've got with trying to control the citizenry. How about you know, maybe ignore a speeding ticket here or there.
Mm-hmm.
I like the outfit except the orange jacket. I don't know how I feel about the orange jacket.
Ain't too bad.
Well, we'll see if we can get a new outfit for him. We may have already gotten outfits for him. We'll see.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so we're going to grab the
cool.
New fit, and then I might go ahead and just do that before we start the next episode.
Yeah.
That way we can just hit the statue. Oh, that's pretty cool, though. So, yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. I know it got super freaking rambly today, but hey, thank you. We had a pretty good time.
We're passionate about these subjects, as you can tell.
Definitely. Nothing wrong with having something you're passionate about in life.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that said, thank you all for watching. Appreciate you all a lot. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Like and sub, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Ta-ta.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Open Couch Gaming for more video game antics.